Hi, Dr. Arland Hill sitting out here on a beautiful sunny day with a lot of energy in the air in spring. However, it's pretty hard to appreciate this, even in the most pristine environments, if you're feeling fatigued and constantly dealing with that. So what I want to do today is I want to share with you some of the rarely discussed but typical reasons for fatigue. So let me run through a couple of these with you to give you a whole new perspective on fatigue and a couple of ideas and options that you can pursue to gain some clarity and some energy. First of all, think about chemicals. Now, chemicals, you may not even realize how much you're being exposed to, but they are everywhere. They're in our yards, they're in the foods that we consume, they're in the air. It's hard to get away from these chemicals unless you're taking conscious efforts to do that. And the reason that that is relevant for you is that these chemicals by nature are toxins. And the more effort your body is having to put towards managing and dealing with these toxins that create inflammation in the body, the more difficult it is going to be for you to feel energetic. So the number one thing you've got to do to be able to feel more energetic is you have to get away from chemicals, whether in your home, around your home, in your food. Chemicals have to go. Number two thing you should be thinking about are going to be neurochemical imbalances. So a lot of times when we hear about energy and fatigue, sometimes the conversation goes to hormones. There's a lot of conversation even around guys now. We see commercials on TV where guys are told, hey, go check your testosterone. If your testosterone's low, then you're probably going to need to take more testosterone to feel more energetic, feel like you did in your 20s. I got a news flash for you guys. It's not just about the hormones. There's neurochemicals that play a big role in this too. So there's this balance that has to take place between the hormones in the body and also between the neurochemicals in the body. And if both systems aren't balanced, you're going to feel fatigue as a result of that. Now, the next one I want you to look at is key. It's core. And I say that, pun intended, it's core to the central portion of the body, meaning the abdominal or gut. When we think about the gastrointestinal tract, it's not just a tube where we put things in, we put food in and food residue comes out. No, it is a living part of our body. And if it's not working for us, it's working against us, which means that if it's not creating energy for you, you're suffering from fatigue as a result of that. So your gastrointestinal tract needs support. It needs to be healthy, and to achieve that means that you have to consume, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, those chemical-free foods. You have to make sure that you're getting in adequate amounts of fiber in the diet, adequate amounts of different colorful nutrients in your food. So if you look in your refrigerator or pantry and all you see are brown foods or white foods, you don't see a lot of color in there, that's a big indication you got a problem and your gut is probably contributing to your fatigue. You should open your refrigerator and it should look like a rainbow in there. So consider that. The last one I want to leave you here with is what's called mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, mitochondria, if that word's new to you, then mitochondria are simply going to be the energy producing components of your cells in the body. So when we think about making energy internally, we put that responsibility on the mitochondria. But those mitochondria have requirements too that we have to be able to meet. And a couple of the requirements that they have are making sure that they get adequate nutrient. So when we think about B vitamins, and not just B12 and not just folate, we also think about all the B vitamins playing a role here. When we talk about minerals like magnesium, these are extremely critical too to allow that mitochondria to be able to produce the energy that it needs. The other thing that I would ask you to consider for these mitochondria is to make sure that the inflammation's down. So again, I go back to some of the previous points. If the gut's not healthy, if you open the refrigerator and there's not a lot of color in there, then that's a good, strong indicator that you're probably dealing with inflammation and don't even realize it, and that inflammation is damaging those energy-producing areas in the body that are contributing to your fatigue. We want those guys working at a high efficiency. We want every cell in your body to have tons of these mitochondria, so they're just pumping out energy for you. So when you wake up in the morning, you feel ready to go, you feel productive and energetic throughout the entire day, And when the evening time comes, you're ready to lay down, but not feeling wiped out and exhausted. So hey guys, listen, there are lots of people out there dealing with fatigue. I almost chuckle when I talk about fatigue in terms of if you open up any type of condition or disease-oriented information and you look at the symptoms, you'll almost find fatigue associated with every one of those. Those are typical causes, but you're not dealing with the disease. Where's your fatigue coming from? You got to look at these typical reasons that are rarely discussed. So if you like this information, make sure you like it below. Make sure you share this information with others out there and let them know what they can do about their fatigue. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Dr. Arland Hill.